Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome to Music Makers. My name is Aaron Barbosa, and I'm very excited to be able to show you what I'm about to show you today. I know a lot of people, they want to stop scrolling, and like use all this crazy hype. But I'm telling you the truth, this has revolutionized drums for me in my studio. So I'm going to take you, directly to my Pro Tools setup. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So for many of you, maybe you might have especially drummers, you might have like a little drum Simmons or a Nitro, or if you're lucky, you get to have, some sickle, Roland V kit or something like that. Or I know DW Drums has a sick E kit now. I've heard of EF Note, a couple of other really, really great contenders out there. But if you're like me, I bought a Alesis Strike Pro, and the drums, they're lackluster, and then for some reason they have these weird issues, and it's not an uncommon issue, and I'm going to show you. This song is called Muchas Gracias, Señor. It's a beloved old song, but I'm working on it to make it, a little more of a modern something so that we can share it and have multi-tracks available for our students. By the way, we do a track of the week every week, for almost every week. Sometimes we're off for the summer and stuff. But generally speaking, every week we have a new multi-track coming. And of course, that's in addition to all of our lessons for only $29 a month. Just go to minstrelstv.com. And of course, you can check it out. Okay, so watch. This is how the Alesis drums performed live. Let me show you. This is my brother Matt on drums. So even without any quantization or fixing, sounds pretty good. But if you can hear, there's phase on the kit. Alesis that we cannot get rid of. The $2,600 kit before taxes. And this is the best we can get it to sound. Check it out. And we deal with it because it sounds okay, Watch. I want you to hear the chorus, especially when the snare comes in, so you can get a feel for how our drums sound. This is Mimi singing. Naomi Hernandez. Amazing. Check it out. Chorus. Muchas gracias, Señor. Okay, Matt stayed on the side stick. Let me see if he does any snare. I think he does snare on the second chorus. Let's see here. Oh, here it is. You hear all the phasing? So this sounds like an electronic drum kit. But, my friends, with just one USB, what is it? I think we're using a B, which is like a printer cable. A USB B to, regular USB A, like the rectangular one. We bought a long one on Amazon. We bought it. It was cheap. We go from the drum kit to the back of where our Pro Tools computer that we're recording the multi-tracks on. And we're able to pull up, or we're able to record the MIDI. Now, here's the thing. Usually, here's the MIDI drums right here. Let me actually get this a little bit bigger for you guys. Usually, see the MIDI drums? Let me move myself aside for a second. Let's make myself a little smaller. So, usually, you guys, with the MIDI drums, I have to map all the hits because they're not it's not typical. Like the drum, it's not the way I have it set up here on keys when I'm playing like, hand drums or whatever. It's, it takes a while. It's kind of painstaking. And then what we do is when we finally end up with the right MIDI map, then we save it. And so we've been using kind of the same kit on all the past stuff that you've been hearing. We've been recording MIDI drums for a while, and we were using Studio Drummer Contact library. And it was good, but you want options. So here goes. You guys ready? Let me open this up real quick. Now enters Addictive Drums 2. Now here's the thing. I wanted this really, really bad. Because these drums sound so nice. But I was like, oh man, then we're going to have to MIDI map them. But look I have all these different kits. I have the Boutique Mallets. I have Fairfax Volume 2. United Heavy, which is awesome for like faster stuff, like praise stuff. United Pop. This is all great for like records. This one, Vintage Dead, dope. I'll show you through some of them right now. But anyways, the reason why I really, really wanted to be able to do this, Aaron Scenario Kit 1. Let me go back to that. Okay. Making sure. Okay. Yeah, the Vintage Dry. That's the one I wanted to use in the song. I wanted to use this because they sound better, but the problem is like the MIDI map. So one day I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do the MIDI map. You guys, look at how easy Addictive Drums 2 is to MIDI map. You go to these 3 little buttons right here. Let me make sure you guys can see this. There we go. You go to these 3 little buttons right here, or these 3 little lines, and it says MIDI mapping. Now this is a revolution, you guys. I'm telling you, especially for those of you like my friend Neil, who has like a nitro mesh kit. Some of these kits you can get them for $300-400. They have a good feel because they're mesh, heads, so they bounce back nicely. So they're good for practice at home, especially for drummers that are practicing at home, which you should be doing. But look at you guys. It has all the kits. Like, I should say a lot of the kits. Major kits. So it has like the Alesis one, Crimson 2, DM Light, DM6, DM7. Then it has the Nitro Mesh, Prime, and thank God it even has the kit that we have, which is a Strike Pro. Man, this, you guys, all I did, I clicked Strike Pro. I'm not going to do it now because it's already set up. But it literally lines everything up. It MIDI maps everything. So everything that Matt was playing on the original recording that we MIDI recorded goes directly to work with these drum sounds. Which, now, let's talk about that for a second. Let me show you how this kit sounds now. So let me mute Matt's original drums and let me show you now these drums. Check it out. I'll start you off. I'll start at the same place where the snare starts. Actually, no, let me show you the front because I want you to hear how good it sounds kind of alone. Watch. Like night and day, bro. So punchy, so warm. Bro, it sounds like a kit that we recorded live here at the studio. And that's the thing, that me and Matt, we love recording live drums. Like that's something that we've always wanted to do. But in these, for example, this video that you're listening to the audio on, we have all these mics in the room. Mimi's there, Roman, Cecia, all of us have talkback mics in there. And so, of course, in the mics that are going to end up live, like the singer's mics, it's like, usually it's like, oh man, I have to like mute all of them basically, have everybody come back and do overdubs. Like I'm telling you, it's a hassle because the drums, if they were live drums, they would be bleeding into the mics. But because we have the electronic drums, they're quieter. You can still hear them, by the way, if you wanted to know. They're quieter, but the trade-off is that usually they sound like kind of garbage. But now we're like, oh, we can change the way these drums sound. Let me show you. So once you have it in Addictive Drums and you already had the MIDI recorded, all you do is you can go through all the different drum kits. Watch. Show you. Actually, first, before before I change the sound, let me show you the sound I'm using that I've chosen. Here's where the snare comes in. Watch. What's up, Daniel? Watch. Here's the snare. I want more snare, watch. I'm gonna trust my ear, I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, so let's talk about this. Then the addictive drums, yes, you can explore the different drum sounds, the presets, let me say that. But then you go over to the kit, and I did this already. I didn't like the original snare, and you can just go through them and see these little buttons here. You just kind of click and you change the snares. You could change all the kits. And of course, once you own the kits, you could swap between kits, between pieces of the kit, I should say. Tom 1, Tom 2, Tom 3, Tom 4. Then another thing is a lot of times electronic drum kits, the cymbals are too loud because, the drummer's playing with a lot of vigor, on the live, like, because that's how he would play if he was playing an actual, drum kit. But right here, each and every one of these have their own separate volumes. So I can go lower and higher, not a big deal. And I put them exactly to where I want them. So now, even before I would stem this out, or maybe if I were to go, my brother Matt, when he mixes, he likes to have each and every individual sample. But even before that, at the level that I'm at, where I'm just trying to kind of get it to a nice place so that I could share it with the team and stuff like that, and they could start rehearsing some things and whatever, I could do a pre-mix here that kind of sounds pretty amazing. And this is really great. And let me just say this, guys. Not everything I say, some things are just whatever, but some of these things are prophetic. And I know it sounds funny to say prophetic while I have Addicted Drums 2 open, but God has been speaking to me. God's been speaking to my heart and saying, look at Aaron, the name of the game is not perfection, because that's what me and Matt have been working towards. We're like, okay, how do we get our drums to sound perfect? Because we want to compete in spaces, with Warren Campbell as a producer. We want to compete with, Aaron Lindsay. These are all Grammy Award winning producers. And we're like, man, how do we get it there? So we've been on our budget. We've been trying to produce at a certain level, but God has been speaking to me and saying, Aaron, you're going to miss it. There's a bunch of kids on TikTok. There's a bunch of kids, on IG. And the name of the game is not perfection. The name of the game is consistency and fast. When you record this, you need to put it out right away. So now, if you didn't notice, even the track of the week is part of God working on me to change the way I do production, to change the way I even think about production. I'm not here necessarily to get a Grammy. And that's the funny thing. I remember I was working with my friend Luis Bueno, right? And we were working on a song for his wife that she wrote, actually. It was a beautiful song. It slips me right now. It's not Te Rescataré, it's the other one. I'm sorry that it's slipping my mind now. But it was her song, right? And we were working on it. And he's like, while you're doing that, can you mix Waymaker? We're going to put it out on, the DSPs, like Spotify, iTunes, whatever. So I was like, yeah, sure. And man, he sent me the tracks, and this is no offense, okay? Because Luis is my friend, and he'll likely watch this, and I hope he's watching it now. But the original recording, you guys, of Waymaker, it wasn't like, oh, this is groundbreaking sounds, and this is amazing. No, it wasn't that, you guys. It was just, they recorded it probably, I would imagine, through their X32 at their church. It wasn't about that. But yet, you guys, this song, I always testify of this song has over 200 million. Over 200, I think it's 200, it's something ridiculous. Go look it up. Priscilla Bueno, Waymaker in Spanish. You guys, it has hundreds of millions of views. And here we are, sometimes we're saying, well, we want to make an impact. That's a huge impact. Yeah, well, we can't make an impact unless, everything's to the level. That's not true, you guys. I'm going to give you another example. I'm gonna show you guys something, and I don't usually say stuff like this, but today I just feel to say this. One of the best, most perfect sounding recordings I have ever heard in the past 10 years comes from Myron Butler on the record My Tribute. You guys, one of the most beautiful sounding records, and it does not even have close to what Priscilla has on her song that they did through their X32, probably, or maybe even a Personas, board. I don't know. They don't even have even close. And then I noticed he made an entire record of the whole, like all his record, but just soundtracks. Beautiful sounding soundtracks that people can use, to sing, at an event or in their church or in their small group. You guys, some of those tracks only have like 1,400 plays. Like this video is gonna have more than 1,400 plays. You know what I mean? In a couple days, and that's nothing. There's kids, play with their little monitos, 7 zillion views. You know what I mean? So my point is, I believe that production has shifted more from perfection to just, I would say, consistency and just as good as you can get, as excellent as you can get it. And there's a lot of times, you guys, where we are not seen. We're climbing up the ladder, and the ladder is against the wrong building. And I'm saying I'm guilty of that, where I'm like, no. I'm gonna get the drums, and we're gonna put oils on it, and we're gonna massage it, and the mics, we're gonna have it at an XY, perfectly on top, bruh. And then I run out of money because I can't finish the song, and this is a real problem that guys like me, that me and Michelle, we're funding this from our own pocket, from our own family. You know what I mean? Every once in a while we'll be like, hey, for Give Tuesday, does anybody want to donate to Minstrels? We get and we're grateful for it, but it's a few $100s. Well, each song takes several $1,000s to create. If you're creating at that level, if you're trying to compete at that level, you're talking a minimum, I would say $2,500 to $3,500 to compete at a level like that. And that's a slim budget. You can ask anybody, any great producer that would listen to me say that would be like, yeah, right. That's my, my mixes coffee budget, right? But I think I could produce $3,500, probably something that competes in that level. But it's not that. It's Priscilla Bueno. It's Averly. It's all these people that are a lot of this stuff is getting better. But if you look at their original stuff, it's not that good, you guys. I was watching Oasis, or I forgot which one of the great Spanish ministries, and they have this one video where they're singing at the beach. It sounds terrible. No offense, it sounds terrible. From old Aaron's mentality, wait a second. Al Schmidt, if he were to show up right now, Al Schmidt is dead, you guys. I loved Al Schmidt, man. I talked to him at NAMM. Love that guy, bro. One of the best mix engineers of all time. But Al's gone, and just so happens that so is the industry. The industry has changed so much, and now it's really about, can you get your Sunday service, or can you get your recordings to sound pretty good, and just be more regular about that? Can you change your budget from one song once in a while for $3,500 to 10 songs on a regular basis for $3,500? That is where I think things are currently at. And this right here, and so getting back to how these drums will revolutionize your life, here's a couple things, okay? I can change the sounds of the drums to beautifully recorded sounds. Let me just show you through a couple really quickly. Watch. I have my one finger up still. Look at it, I can go through the different. All kinds of different sounds. Ooh, look at that. You see how the ride's too loud? Lower it. Well, that sounds good too, actually. It's just a different vibe though. That's why I probably didn't go with it. Take down the crashes. Easy peasy. There it is. And look, it would sit well in the mix. Watch. just a band. Okay, the snare. What if I want to like change the sound of it? Watch. Maybe change the pitch. Watch. Well, that's actually not a bad idea. Watch. I'll just leave it. Take the pitch off. Like, I can go in here, you guys, and like cut the snare if it has too bright. Just cut it, watch. Oh, I love the song. You guys, it's a revolution. It's a straight up revolution. This is not hyperbole. Like what you can do now, and just recording with one. I take one little USB cable, go from the electronic drum kit, you know, the little head, over to my Pro Tools with one little thing. And I remember, you got to make sure that's something very important on a live recording. Make sure you have a MIDI track, recordable it, make sure it's coming through. All right, cool, let's go. And you can record it. And we just record it, you know, to the click, just like anything else. And it just comes out fantastic. And now, look at, I have all these options. Let me show you. You see how quick it was for me to get to a really great drum sound? What if I want to do like mallets? That kit's not for this. Oh, sorry. I was like, what is that? Sorry, I had the play button on. I didn't realize. But look at how good this sounds. Watch. Dry room. Oh, that kick. Okay, watch. Look at this one. United Heavy. This one's great for like. This one feels like church drums. Watch. That's a load. And I can change the room. Overhead. I can tell it has reverb on it. You can go in there and you can cut the reverb out of it. See the FX sends right here? Wait, you can't see that, sorry. The FX sends, I can lower this. That's all natural right there. You hear that? I can change out the kit. Let me show you. I'm going to change out the kick. Watch. Hear that? Oh my god, that pork pie custom sounds so good. Watch. Sonar. Ooh. I like this one. Feels jazzy. And then I can go into it. Watch. I don't like to punch at the end, so I might go like this, watch. Go to cut. A little too knocky. There you go. I just didn't want it to knock too much. Not for this record. Anyways, put it back. Other ones, watch. That was nice. And it sits good in the mix, watch.
Muchas gracias, Señor.
I don't like that snare. I changed out the snare. Let me put the snare on for you real quick.
No mi amargura, trayéndome
That's nice.
la calma.
Pork pie, Ludwig.
Muchas
Watch.
gracias, Señor.
You're here right now when Matt hits the snare. Watch.
Muchas gracias, Señor.
Black Beauty.
Por doquiera que
Gretsch.
voy.
Ooh, the Gretsch.
Sea aquí, sea allá, donde quiera que
shoot.
esté.
I didn't even realize.
Tu nombre alabaré.
Oh my
Muchas
God.
gracias, Señor.
I lowered it just a little bit.
Por tus misericordias.
Right there.
En la noche siniestra.
Ooh, it has a little
siempre me
shimmer
guiará
on
tu diestra.
little shimmer on the top of that.
Muchas gracias, Señor.
So the rest of the kit stayed the same, but I put the other Ludwig snare in there. I mean, you guys, when are you ever gonna have a studio where you can change out every single tom, every single snare, every single cymbal? You could add claps to it. They even had that little clap stack thing that the drummers like these days. You could do all that in here with an old kit. It doesn't have to be the expensive ones. You can get the Nitro Mesh kit. Again, you go right here to, let me see. Make sure you guys can see this. The little three buttons, go to MIDI mapping. And right here, right at MIDI mapping, just real quickly, you'll see all the different kits. They have F Note, Mega Drums, Millennium, Nux. Some of these I don't really know that well. They even have Logic Drum Kit Designer. Roland, of course, had the TD stuff, right? Everybody loves Roland. They even have Simmons. Why, I don't know, but they have Simmons. Yamaha, DTX. Look at all these. But the thing I like the most about this is that the Elyse's Nitro kits, one time I saw them on Christmas, the Nitro Mesh, whatever. I think that little Nitro kit was like, honestly, like $299. And imagine just have a good drummer with a good feel. Done, bro. You know, I'm blessed to have my brother Matt. And of course, now in Minstrels, we have Anderson. And same thing with Anderson. Anderson played my son Micah's song the other day. And we released a video of the live version. And Anderson's a great player already as it is. He's a kid, man. But there are certain things, you know, like certain... Oh, that's the other thing. Certain issues, let me say this, that every drummers have, or excuse me, that every drummer has, especially when you're not playing a real kit, you can't really dig in the way you could in a real kit. So there'll be like some timing issues, or the tom's off, or double triggers. This fixes all of that because you can grab all the MIDI, just like this. Let me show you. And you just go and like to, what is it? This is a event operations, quantize. Let me put this here for you so you guys can see. Yeah, you just quantize it right here. Quantize grid, you want it to be like 16 notes or whatever. You know, you want it to do triplet, right? They even have Cubase style grooves. This is a lot. I don't want to get into it. MPC, I love MPC. So they have MPC style swing, all kinds of really, really great stuff. But all you do is you put the strength. You know, do you want it to be like 100 or you want it, you know, a little light so it still kind of feels real? Maybe put it to 86 or 82 and then boom, apply it, and it will quantize that whole section and make all the hits absolutely correct. So not only do you get this world of drum sounds and drum pieces to customize your own kit, you also get, especially if you're, and this is what I would recommend, if you're recording the MIDI drums onto a grid like we did, you know, to a session, it could be Logic, anything. But especially if you do that, bruh and sis, now you have a perfectly timed drummer, you know. And I'm blessed again to have Matt. If I were to take the time to play for you Matt's rendition of this, just open with the little MIDI drum kit that we were hating, with the Elysis Strike Pro, you would see how good he sounds even on the trash kit. But You might have another situation, where maybe you're the drummer and you're a producer and you want to have that real feel and you can play okay, but you're not that good. This would up your game crazy, like in a crazy way. Like honestly, like I could probably take gigs as a drummer. I know it sounds crazy. Laugh at me all you want. Just wait till I do it. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of my first check and be like, I'm the new drummer on this record. Now, I might be a little funny, but the truth is, yeah, you can do a lot with this. Also, now that we're talking about it, this music, Muchas Gracias, Señor, is part of a EP that we're releasing early summer 2025. No, we're not going to make you wait till 2027 like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 or whatever it is. But yeah, we have this EP coming out, and it's fantastic. We're excited about it. All right, family. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you next time on Music Makers.